Today is such a beautiful day that I almost feel bad doing this, but I am vlogging in the car, and so in order not to break tradition, I have a rant for you. Basically what this is about is being selectively angry. Now that's gonna sound like a weird concept until I fully explain it. So my brother's two friends, he has two really good friends of his that were really good friends of mine as well, at different times, but one of them specifically was a very good friend of mine for a couple of years. And so basically when my brother goes out with his friends, he would usually invite me and I would go along and whatever. One night we go out to a bar, and outside of the bar they find a blackberry on the floor. My brother kicked it, and as soon as he kicked it, we noticed that the lights were coming on, so we were like, don't kick it, like pick it up. So we pick it up and go through the most recent text messages, and it turns out that someone literally dropped it there like within 5 minutes of us finding it. So the boys are like, hey, it's a girl's cell phone, let's go through and see if there's any naked pictures or whatever, which is whatever, like, alright, have your fun with the phone. But then, when they were done, I was like, okay, well, let's find out who this girl is and give her phone back. And it was connected to Facebook and everything. Like, there was people that she had literally talked to a few minutes before that she was with that night. There were so many ways that we could have gotten the phone to her. But my brother's friend, who was also a good friend of mine, we'll call him Mark, he was like, no, I'm keeping the phone. And I was like, why do you get to keep the phone? And he's like, I just am. And he grabbed it and put it in his pocket. And I was like, okay, my brother found it. All of us noticed that it was on. And now you're keeping the phone. For some reason, the phone suddenly belongs to you, and it's your decision what's done with it. Now, this is the problem, is that Mark's mom died about 6 months prior to this incident, which was at Christmas, and everybody else feels like they need to baby Mark because of this. Now, I'm really sympathetic towards, you know, his situation, I am, but just because something traumatic happened in your life in the last 6 months doesn't mean that you have permission to be an asshole to everybody else and that no one else can stand up to that. So I got pretty upset with him because I said that we needed to return the BlackBerry, and he insisted no, the BlackBerry was his and he was gonna sell it, and it was the newest model, so he could make like 300 bucks off of it, and I was not gonna cost him the $300 by giving it back to this girl. So I left that night and I sent him a text saying that I'll have lost all respect for him if he sells the BlackBerry instead of giving it back. And he sends me a text message back that says he lost all respect for me when I moved in with Richard anyways. Great. So that was the fight. That was the thing that happened, which is the cause of this rant. Now what happens is that since Christmas, I have not seen them very much. My brother has this thing where his friends are right no matter what, and one of his friends could pretty much stab me and I would still be the one who was left out afterwards because I must have done something to have caused his friend to stab me. So what happens is that I have not seen my brother a lot since Christmas because Mark is mad at me, and poor Mark lost his mom, and so Mark can do no wrong. But on my birthday, I made a whole bunch of different cakes just for fun, and I invited everyone over, and I said, Rick, come, bring all your friends. So my brother comes, and he brings all of his friends, and one of the people that he brings is Mark. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really say much to him the whole night, like a hello, goodbye, do you want cake, do you want a drink? And you know, he hung out at my house for like 6 hours that night, played poker, ate my food, drank what was in my fridge, like whatever. And so I was like, okay, I guess that everything's all right. Now, of course, a couple of weeks ago, the weekend that I was leaving to go away for the entire summer, I called my brother and I asked him what he's doing, and he goes, oh, I'm just gonna go out and have some dinner, you can come. Then he's like, no, wait, Mark's coming and he wouldn't want you to come. Now, I don't understand this selective anger. Why is it that when I invite people out and people are gonna get things off of me, like food or a place to play cards or whatever, he is not angry at me, but when it's something that the boys are planning, he is allowed to say that I can't come because he is angry at me. I don't understand this selective anger. It's like it's like a child, you know? It's how a child behaves. A child gets mad, and then you say to them, hey, do you want ice cream? And they're like, yeah, I want ice cream. And then as soon as you get back in their house, they're like, oh, well, I'm still mad at you because you took away my toy. Like, it's not, no, you have to pick or choose one or the other. You don't come and eat my ice cream if you're gonna be mad at me again when we get home. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Like, I don't know, I don't feel like, I'm sorry, death is a really hard thing to deal with, and trust me, it was hard for me too, it was hard for everybody. I went to his mom's funeral, I hung out with all of his brothers, like, I felt like I was really there for him when it happened, but I'm sorry, I don't feel like because something traumatic happened to you in the last year, everybody else needs to baby you and you can do no wrong. Okay, it doesn't mean that he has permission to go out and hurt other people or do things that, you know, are malicious towards other people just because of that. So 2 points. 1, selective anger. How do you feel about that? And is that fair at all? Like, I mean, my brother thought that I was going away for the entire summer, but he couldn't see me that day because Mark did not want to see me that day. He was okay with seeing me the day that I made cake, but he was not okay with seeing me that day, despite the fact that the circumstance had not changed at all. And then the second thing is like, how long do you think that people's feelings should be left, you know, completely untouched after something traumatic happens to them? Because I think that, I don't know, I think that just because something happened to you doesn't mean that you're incapable of doing wrong. So, yeah, I guess the camera's falling over, which is perfectly acceptable because that's what it always does, and that's what happens when you have a $1 tripod.